Hey, what's going on, DDO players? Axel here. Welcome back to my free-to-play series. If you haven't seen these videos before, this is a series where I'm playing through DDO on a new free-to-play account using only what I find. So no, and also no ship buffs, no auction house, no trades with other players, no handy downs, nothing like that. So today we're moving on to level 13 quests. There are only two level 13 quests that are free to play, which is Mired and Kobolds and Dinosaur Crisis. Dinosaur Crisis being actually the newest free-to-play quest in the game. It just came out this year, just a couple updates ago. But we're going to start here in the 12. So I'm here in the 12. This is where Diplomatic Impunity was around here that we ran a couple episodes ago. But yeah, we're going to run Mired and Kobolds right here. Before we do that, though, I got to show you a couple things updated on the character. So it took away the Gorgon armor that I was wearing because I pulled this +7 Constitution armor. So that gave me an extra rank of con, and I'd rather have, say, like 30 hit points all the time other than the Earthing Guard that the Gorgon armor had, which gave me like 70 temporary DR sometimes with a kind of a low proc rate. So this is better. Plus, actually, another benefit is I kind of like this armor. It's kind of pretty. I don't know. It has a druid vibe to it, or an elven vibe to it for sure. Anyways, that's just cosmetic. Also, I found a new cloak. So I'm using, I had an Insightful Wisdom cloak, and I found an Insightful Charisma cloak, and I'd rather have Charisma than Wisdom because being a paladin, you know, Charisma powers a lot of your stuff, like your smites and your saves bonus from Divine Grace and other things. So definitely would have the cloak, so I put that on. I mean, as a bonus, it also has some light resistance and Insightful Fire resistance, which is pretty cool. Let's see. So that's it for items that I've changed since last episode. Everything else is the same. The other thing is I took level 15 since we were done with the level 12s in the previous episode, and we're moving on to 13s. So I'm level 15 now, which is actually a big deal because level 15 as a paladin gives you an extra level 4 spell slot. And at level 4, having one slot, we used our first slot on Holy Sword that we've been using because it's a big DPS bonus, right? But now the second slot, we can take the amazing spell that only paladins get, which is Zeal, which gives you a 10% sacred bonus to double strike and double shot. And it says a short duration there, but it's actually not a short duration. It's a minute per paladin level. So it's, yeah, so it's really, it's just 10% double strike. So that means basically 10% more DPS for us. So that's a great change. Let's see. Yeah, so that's it's kind of it. But for me personally, 15, having that extra spell slot is what makes just generally, if you do even like a build where you're splashing paladin, like having 15 paladin is quite a bit better than 14 paladin. For that reason, you get the extra spell slot. So like when I'm running previously I've done like 15 paladin, 5 dragon lord, which is a really good split. I've done that, and I've also done previously 14 paladin builds, but yeah, 15 is definitely the way to go for me when I run like splash builds with paladins, something like paladin dragon lord. But anyways, let's move on. But definitely 14 for Holy Sword, nothing else. But I like 15 better for that reason. Okay, well let's get started with Mired and Kobolds. We can go ahead and do our silver roll, I guess. I have gotten a couple XP pots, XP potions from silver rolls, and I put those in the bank. I have a minor XP potion, and I think was it a greater? I'm trying to remember. I can't remember exactly, but it's in the bank. But I'm thinking I'll probably save those and use those when I gain a few more levels. But we'll not use it for now. Okay, guys, let's step into the first quest here, Mired and Kobolds on Elite. I did just do a jump cut there because I had to reset the quest because bunch of server lag. So let's hope this run is better. If you're seeing this, then it did go better because I would re-record it if I got as much lag as I just got. Okay, so let's get buffed here. This quest is one I think a lot of players look back through fondly, because there's a cool encounter at the end with a big dragon, which we will do the Sinvala encounter at the end. And we'll see how that goes. But this quest, I'll talk more about the Sinvala encounter at the end. But basically, it's an optional dragon fight you can do. And you can get some black dragon scales, possibly, if you do it. And some extra XP. But anyways, in this quest, lots of kobolds, obviously by the name, Mired and Kobolds. It's very important for this quest that you have a throwing weapon. So make sure you have a returning throwing weapon, just because there's a bunch of crystals that we're going to break here. And those crystals, you need to hit them with a ranged weapon because they do a bunch of damage when you break them and they're just far away, or they're in places where it's not convenient to actually run up and melee them, and you wouldn't want to anyway. So just have a returning thrower. I believe somewhere in this quest there might be a barrel with bow and arrows in it, but you don't want to rely on that. You know, I've talked about this a bunch in previous episodes, but every melee should always have a returning throwing weapon on them at all times, because there's quite a few buttons and levers and other things you need to hit. See this also on my left, this grass that looks different? That grass actually will do damage if you walk into it. So there's a bunch of that throughout this dungeon, so you want to try to avoid it. This quest is a little bit more challenging because see how these kobolds up here are throwing crap at us? It can be a little bit rough on a melee, because if you get a few champions from those throwers, it can be quite annoying. I guess annoying isn't the right word. More like it can be quite challenging. But we got kind of lucky here. None of them spawned as champions, so we should be fine. Just take them out here. Okay, so I was going to try something. Unfortunately, they moved, but these two casters here, if they're near the crystal and you break it, you can actually launch them. It's pretty funny. But anyways, so there you go. That's the first crystal, but you want to... Oh, actually, we didn't realize there's another kobold up here we hadn't killed yet. But yeah, those crystals, you want to break them from afar. That was the first one. So we'll do damage to anything near it. So here's number 2, and you can range these things pretty far and get some damage. You know, in the kobolds, like there, you see this too. It did damage and it stunned them. So it's a good idea to use a little stealth here and try to range those. Oh, my Harling. Yeah, that caster's up here. I actually should get that colt. There he goes. You see the kobolds? Launched into orbit. They are space kobolds now. Oh, actually, there they are. You see their bodies come back down. That's so funny. It's so funny. I was hoping I'd get that on video. But yeah, you can launch them like that. What am I doing? I actually went backwards. Okay, so the map here. So the main path is east. South here, it's an optional, and it's not hardly any XP. It's just a junk chest, and it's pretty long. So it is not remotely worth doing. So you can go south and do the optional if you want. I'm not going to do it because it's not near worth doing, but it's there if you want to check it out. So here's another crystal. Really, I should be probably ranging these crystals. Yeah, there we go. Before I walk in here, I was not paying attention because I was talking. Yeah, so Chant Caster. Try to get those things down as much as possible. Okay. Rush Shrine if I need it. Nah, I don't need it. There's one more shrine before the end fight, so we'll just wait. Okay. Should be. Let's see. Okay. Still looking for some upgrades on my other slots, like a deadly item. Still don't have a seeker item that I can fit into my gear set because I had to remove the one I had because it conflicted with the set bonuses. Okay, from the set we're using, which is the Sorkel set. Okay, so we got some throwers up here. You have a breakable object over here and a crystal behind it. So what you want to do on this part is you want to get your thrower. You want to break this here. and then get that crystal. There we go. So there's launching more kobolds, and it should, well, usually I thought it might take out the guys up here. But we'll kind of stay under the bridge, so that way we are going to be, you know, out of the range of those throwers, unless they hop down here, which I don't think they will. I think they're stationary. Okay, getting a bunch of server lag here. Should be fine, though. It's not too much of a threat right now. Yeah, so there we go. Throwers are down. Let's go after this champ first. Missed my stun, unfortunately. Thing got tripped. Okay, is that all of them? I think that's it. Oh, there's one. Oh, there's still one ranged. We'll just, we can open this box. We'll just run away from him, but got a fire dot going, so it's not going to let us. Should get it open now. Yeah, we'll just ignore those stationary throwers. More grass right there. That'll sting you. Alright, so we have a little dragon, which is the main boss, and then we have the optional big dragon. We'll go ahead and shrine before we bring the barrier down. Get our make sure our hireling shrines too. Yeah, since I haven't done this Symbolified on Elite, I'm kind of wondering how you know, difficult it'll be. I think we should be able to handle it just fine. It used to be super challenging fight, but you know, lately, well, not lately, but you know, over the years with the game changing, power creep and stuff, it shouldn't be too bad. Although, you know, this character shouldn't really be. I mean, it's being aided a little bit by power creep by using the new gear from, you know, Lord's March Plaza, and then Random Loot Gen gear has gotten rescaled some over the years, but. Anyways, we'll see how tough it is. But yeah, so we're just destroyed 2 crystals, so it'll bring the barrier down. We're just waiting for it to come down. There we go. And it'll go back up, but it'll make this little barrier breach, little teleport spot we can hop in. Okay, so here again we've got the bunch of grass. There's a lot of trash here, so we really need to take out some of this trash before we fight the boss, so we're not getting pummeled constantly by these casters. Same with our hireling. Don't want our hireling to get pummeled. There we go. Okay. Let's see if I can pull her out of. There we go. So I'm not going to use too much as far as I'm trying to face this dragon away from my hireling. There we go. I'm not going to use too much in terms of like boosts, and I can use some exalted smites because they just do recharge, but I want to save my stuff for the optional fight. So you see here on my left, you see the pile of gold there. And you see two chests over there that are still shielded. Actually, you might see 3. but those will become unshielded after we kill the main dragon. There's also these crystals, so you can take advantage of some crystals in this fight as well with the big dragon and drag her under here and destroy the crystals, and it'll do, you know, hit her with some lightning, but I don't know if I'll have to worry too much about that. Just gonna have my hireling Divine Vitality me, which is nice. Not that I really need it, but I just may as well. But yeah, some hirelings, by the way, have this Divine Vitality, which is nice because they can refill your spell points for you. All right, so here's Sinvala up there, the Mama Dragon. So I don't know. I'll go ahead and take some resists here. I actually don't know exactly what she has, so I'll just go and fill up my resist because I'm actually not sure what she's going to shoot us with. So may as well just throw some resists up. Please don't go after my hireling. So she's got, yeah, 91,000 hit points. A lot of hit points. Okay, we're going to go around first. Make sure we got her aggro. Try to take out some of this trash. Don't want it pelting us, chipping away at us this whole time. Yeah, this fight should be fine. Assuming we don't get, you know, server lag. Okay, I don't see any other trash. Oh, I saw something. There we go. Okay. So this is going to be a long fight. Because this dragon has so much HP, but we should be fine. We have enough defense to be able to tank it. But again, you don't have to do this Sinvala fight. Right after you defeat that first little dragon, you can just loot these 3 chests and recall, because the quest has completed at this point. This is just an extra extreme challenge type encounter here. I mean, we could try to drag her under that crystal, but it's really something that's a little bit harder to manage with just one of us to try to position her. I mean, I could, but I don't want to get hit with the electric myself, and since we're fine on heals, I'm just going to stand here and just kill her the easy way. Gonna buff myself with heroism. Wouldn't have been a bad idea. I could try to move out of the way of that poison, but I just don't want to turn the dragon and have it hit my hireling. And I can tank the damage, so I'm just opting to do that. One of the reasons why I recommend Paladin, Paladin getting Sacred Defender, like, it was why I recommend it for new players, because, we are tanky enough to be able to do fights like this, whereas if we were on a squishy caster, we'd be running around in circles. But Paladins have good saves and the Sacred Defender tree for a lot of tankiness. So just a really good choice. And you get stuff like negative level immunity, right? That really helped us in Invaders. I should pay a little bit more attention to my Holy Retribution, because that does respawn my uses of Exalted Smite. So I really should be using that whenever it gets off cooldown. One thing that's neat, it's a nice tip that you might have picked up on yourself, but if you get tripped, if you spam, say like an action boost or a spell, you can use it during the get up animation, and as a result, it skips any kind of casting lag, like startup lag. So that can be really useful. Right here, it's pretty useful. Okay, my hireling is almost out of spell points, but that's fine. So we haven't even touched our lay on hands yet, and Dragon's only got 4k. 4k HP left. Alright, almost there. There we go. So a little extra XP and all the chests. Hopefully we get something good. Great sword, but it's Antarctic. So it's chaotic aligned, so it gives us negative levels, but that's unfortunate, but it's not like super. I mean, it would be if it was like, yeah, if this was, say, like, has a little bit better, yeah, it has a little bit better base damage. So if this had, say, instead of Antarctic 3, it was like electrifying 3, it'd be useful, but if we equip that, we're going to get a negative level because it's chaotic aligned. So not too useful. Where's that sword? Yeah, see, like, we get a negative level if we equip it because we are lawful good. So I'm not going to bother with that. I mean, I could take the negative level. Okay, we can't use the helmet. Any helmets because it conflicts with our set. Nothing good there. Lots of chests. I'm going to have to sell before the next quest. Astute 7. Intelligence 7. We don't really care about intelligence, though. Still looking for a seeker, a deadly, you know, anything like that would be useful. A better speed item. I'm still using the speed 19 and level 10 boots. You can also, you know, get some gold or whatever, but it's not really. Usually, I don't bother searching for gold. Sometimes it's more worth it, but usually it's not really worth the time because it's such a little amount of currency. All right, let's hopefully we get something good for the end reward list. Holy Drainax, let's see, resistance, absorption. Okay, nothing better than what we got. So we'll sell repair really quick. All right. The rest of the stuff, I'll go through the rest of that stuff later. All right, so let's go on to quest 2, which, let's see. Okay, quest 2, which we got to go to the harbor. So we're going to go up here to the market and then get to the harbor. So Dino Crisis is a bit of a backstory for Dino Crisis. So Dino Crisis is the quote-unquote replacement quest. So there was a quest called Memoirs of an Illusionary Larcener. And that quest, this basically never happens in DDO. It's pretty much unprecedented. But that quest was removed. And we're getting a little server lag here. That quest was actually permanently removed from the game this year. And the reason it was removed was because there is something special about that quest in the way it was very unique in the way that it formed environments. Like it would form environments around the player. And the developers told us that that was causing performance issues and lag issues on the servers. So they made the decision to remove it. And I'm going to just see what I got here. Some more DDO points. Yeah, so they made the decision to remove that quest permanently from the game, so you can no longer play it. But kind of as the replacement for that, they made this other free-to-play quest this year, Dinosaur Crisis, which was kind of the, okay, we took one away, but we're going to give you a new one. And it's located right here, which is the exact same spot that Memoirs of Illusionary Larcener was located. So this one, Dinosaur Crisis, obviously we fight a bunch of dinos. This is actually a quest I often will start my when I do iconic reincarnations that bring you from level 30 to back to level 15. Often I will start at level 15 with this quest, which has some pretty good loot in it as well. For our build, not as much. There is a heavy armor that drops from this quest that has also a sun augment slot in it. So if I happen to get that, maybe I'll try to farm out a sun augment slot, a good sun augment from here, because there's a ton of different sun moon augments that drop from here. So what sun moon augments are is they are basically a type of augment that was first introduced with the Mithranor expansion, and they are basically separate from, say, like normal augments, like colorless augments or blue augments. But sun and moon augments only go into sun and moon slots. So if you have a sun augment, it only goes into sun slots. If you have a moon augment, it only goes into moon slots. And sun and moon slots basically exist only in content that is from Mithranor, which came out, Mithranor expansion came out in 2024, but it only exists in content from Mithranor and newer. And it's not like every piece of gear has it, but a lot of the gear from then on have had sun and moon slots. But it has, and let's be careful here, there's a lot of mobs. But it does exist on lots of gear from then forward, because they have continued that system. A lot of champions here, so I took a little more damage than I was expecting. But yeah, hopefully we get some stuff, some gear from here. That'd be nice. You know, being such a new quest, it does have up-to-date gear. Although it's not the most exciting gear list, really. I looked, and it does have I believe a helmet, but I can't wear it because it conflicts with the set I'm wearing from Lord's March. I'm already wearing a helmet, so not really an option. But anyway, let's start talking about this quest. So this quest, very straightforward. We just killed mobs. They even show up on the map here as red dots, so you can see where everything is. Not really sure why the developers did that for this quest specifically, like showing all the mobs as red dots. I'd be interested to hear their reasons, but because that's not common in DDO to see that. But for whatever reason, that's what they did. And you can see everything. But yeah, basically very small map. You go around and kill everything. There's optional encounters on the side, which we are going to do. If you do the optional encounters, you get an optional chest at the end, and that chest does have special named loot in it. So I am going to be doing the optionals for that reason. They're also just pretty short. It's just basically three extra mobs on each side.
Small but deadly creatures. Yet you can hear the sound of something crashing through the underbrush nearby.
Let's see.
Time to
Ooh,
deal
we have
with this
two augment
dinosaur
slots on this
version.
armor. That's interesting. A blue and a colorless. Too bad the base effects on it are bad, like magnetism and repair amp, I think. So both totally useless for us. Which is funny, like it doesn't make any sense. It's one of the quirks with the random gen system. Like you have a heavy armor with insightful repair amplification on it, which doesn't make any sense because repair amplification is only going to be useful for those that are constructs, so Warforged, Bladeforge, or a, like, say an Artificer or something that's fleshy that took Construct, I think Construct Essence, is that the name of the feat? That lets you benefit from repair spells. By the way, this is one of the optional encounters here on the side. But yeah, but sometimes with the quirks with the wear loose system, sometimes you'll get effects on items that don't make any sense, like repair amp on a heavy armor. Like, you can't actually wear heavy armor if you're running a Warforged or a Bladeforge, because those construct races use docents, which is like their own special armor. So yeah, we see on the side here these little like totem pole looking things. This is, if you see a totem pole on the side, that's an optional encounter. I'm kind of glad that they do have the red dots here, because maybe the reason they did that is because you have to find and defeat the waves, so you have to kill all the monsters. So since you have to kill the monsters to progress, and it's a wider open area, maybe they just threw you a bone and said, hey, we're going to make it easier for you to know where this stuff is. So here's another optional encounter here on the side. So if you don't want to do the optional, you just don't go in that area and they won't aggro you. But yeah, I guess because it's a quest where you have to kill all the mobs, they decided to throw you a bone. I believe this is the first time we fought dinosaurs, and probably, let me think, maybe the only time Although I think there might be some coming up. I'm not in future quests. I'm not sure. This might be the only one though. Because dinosaurs are relatively new. You know, they were first introduced into DDO with the Isle of Dread expansion, which came out in, let me think. I believe it came out in 2022? Someone correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but let me think for a second. Because 2024 was Myth War, 23 was Back to Unleash. So so I'm pretty sure it was 2022 that we got Isle of Dread. So that was our first, you know, look at dinosaurs in DDO. Which are cool. Isle of Dread was a great expansion. Still really popular today with excellent loot. Okay. We also have a boss at the end of this quest. We have an Etten, which pen and paper D&D monster, and they brought it straight. You know, it looks basically exactly as it does in the 5th edition monster manual. So okay, so we got some more to kill here. But yeah, this is the first appearance of the Etten in DDO, which there's actually a funny backstory for that. Well, not funny, but it's just an interesting backstory, I think, for that one too. Etten, so it's basically a giant-looking creature with 2 heads. They actually did a poll. This would have been, was it 2024 or 2023? I don't remember which. But they did a poll for players saying, hey, which monster do you want to be in DDO? What monster do you want to see in DDO? And they ended up going with, Etten was one of the options in the poll, and that's what they ended up, putting in the game. I don't know if that means that won the poll. I don't think they publicly released the results of the poll, but it was implied that they won the poll, I guess. But I don't think they're necessarily gonna, you know, tell us or release that info. But you would presume they won the poll since they were in the poll and they ended up showing up in game. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead. I think I'm gonna go ahead and hit up the shrine before the infight. Probably don't need to, but I'm going to anyway. So we got so that's all. We got the Etten right here. It's the final fight. We did get the optional completed, which is important. Let's go ahead and just shrine first, though. I really hope I get something good in this chest. I mean, if I get a good augment, sun augment, and a good armor, or that armor. There's actually, I think, a medium armor version as well, which would be okay. I mean, not quite as good. If we can find a better dodge item, then maybe it would be better. But either one I would probably use. Yeah, I don't think actually we need resistance anymore because we have a better resistance on our gear set. I can probably take that spell off my hotbar. Yeah, because it's +3 resistance. I probably have that somewhere else on my gear, so I don't need to be casting that spell, actually. So here's the Etten right here. The 2 heads. Do the 2 heads that argue with each other in lore. Pretty cool monster. Although, let's see. I know when I last noticed, well, we didn't stay alive long enough, but I think they still have some animation work to do on the legs. At least last time I really paid attention to it, they did. Maybe they fixed it since. I don't know. Okay, so one thing you have to know is, like, you have to pay attention. Don't recall. The quest isn't over until you run back to Regina here and talk to her. All right, 9805. Not bad. So we aren't to level 16 yet, so I'll probably be grinding some other quests to get to, probably to level 16 before I shoot the next video, which is going to be Tower of Frost, because that's the only level 14. Let's see. Did I get anything? Gloves, please? No, can't use those. They aren't good anyway. Let's see what else we got. So this is the optional chest right here. And we didn't get anything. Feather Falling of... Yeah, Hallowed. This is a turning item. So Sacred and Hallowed are effects to help your turn undead ability, but we're not... You can use that on a Paladin, but I don't know anyone that really wants builds a turning paladin. If you want to be a turning character, which is really good in DDO actually, but very specialist, you need to probably do it as a cleric. Clerics tend to be better at it. But okay, unfortunately we didn't get any loot from either, unfortunately from either quest today that's useful. But maybe when we turn the quest in, we'll get something from the reward list that's useful. One thing I wish they would change is, for whatever reason, when you finish that quest, it spawns you on the wrong side of the harbor. The quest entrance is over here, but when you finish, it spawns you in front of the market. I do wish they would, one of those little things that I guess they missed during previews for this quest on Lamania or something, but it'd be nice if they would fix that, because you do have to do a little bit of a run back to turn in your quest. I guess you don't have to turn it in. Like if you're just playing with, the game more normally, you don't have to turn it in, I guess. You're just missing out on an end reward. You still get your favor even if you don't turn in your quest. Let's see. Did we get anything useful here? Not really. Nope. Yeah, unfortunately. Complete dud on gear. I really want to get better deadly, better double strike. Like this, we only have this minimum level 11 double strike plus 6. This ring is pretty useless. False. I mean, it's just, what is it? A little bit of, giving us 22 HP, and that's it. I mean, I guess balance, but balance isn't that important. This is just death block. If I can find a better death block item, because we don't need the con, because we have con replicated on our armor, so this is only giving us death block. Deadly, I'm still using a minimum level 8 deadly item. If I can get a better pair of deadly goggles, something with seeker on it. Don't have seeker anywhere. Still using this catastrophe trinket, which is really only giving me 5% discount on spells, and I think a little bit of spell points, although that wizardry might be duplicated somewhere else. I'm still using this heavy armor, and then that's still using the same greatsword as well. Talked about last episode. So yeah, really hoping before the next episode, when I run some more stuff on elites, probably run Dinosaur Crisis a few more times. Hopefully I get some better gear, get lucky, but we'll see. But that'll be it for this episode, guys. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see y'all for the next one. Take care.